We are live. We're live.
Oh, what? We're live?
We're live right now.
No.
Yes. All right. What up, DTA? What up, crew?
What up? What up?
We got a really special guest. My favorite coach.
Oh,
You don't know?
you can't say that.
I can't say that. It's my podcast. You can say what I want. Guys, we got a really special guest. Is this your fourth time here now? How many times have you done this?
Yeah, maybe third or fourth that I remember.
Yes. Guys, if you are listening to this, tag a DTA member in the live chat below. Comment at everyone. Just tag a whole bunch of people. We're about to go dig deep into Joe's journey. I know a lot of you guys have gotten inspired by our content over the last 2-3 years since we've been putting out these educational reels. But like, for those new people that have just been here, you don't really know Joe's backstory. And, yesterday we were training pretty hard in the gym. We got up to like 4 plates hip thrusts, right? And you guys have probably seen it on my stories when we post about her, like her strengths and her gains. But like, it didn't happen overnight. So I'm really looking forward to sharing your journey.
Thank you. So, yeah, I just want to start off by saying thank you for joining us for this hour and just taking time out of your busy day to come listen. So, yeah, I'm just really thrilled to have this opportunity to share with you my passion for fitness and wellness. So we will go over my personal journey and common misconceptions in glute training and how nutrition plays a role in muscle growth and toning, especially for the butt, and also ways to stay motivated and how to navigate social media pressures on body image.
Yes. Now, this is, for those tuning in, give Joe some love in the chat. Now, Joe, we want to firstly know, like, how did this all start? Can you share a bit of your backstory when it comes to fitness?
Yes. So all throughout elementary and high school, I was really drawn into sports and physical education. I was kind of obsessed with it. I was a sprinter. I ran really fast, jumped high, was super competitive, and even a little bit aggressive sometimes with the sports, especially in basketball. Some of the girls would be really intimidated to be my check. I was involved with a variety of different sports, such as track and field for 3 years, volleyball for 3 years, basketball for 5 years, netball for like 5 to 6 years, ultimate frisbee for 2 years, and even cross country for 1 season. But I didn't do that well because all that long distance running, I would never really practice, but I did it anyways. So I took netball to the next level and ended up making it on Team BC, provincial team, and played on it for several years, and then played on Team Canada for 1 year. So that was one of my biggest accomplishments, being in Florida and representing my country. So I really started going to the gym when I was 15 because I really wanted to lose weight for my Hawaii trip. So I just did the treadmill and elliptical the whole time, and I ended up looking okay, but I still didn't get the look that I wanted, which was a really toned body where you can make out the nice toned arms and ab muscles. So after high school, I ended up taking a gap year. So I just worked a little bit. I went to university for biomedical physiology and kinesiology, which is also known as a BPK program at Simon Fraser University in my city. I really liked the kin courses, but of course they also had the other courses that I didn't like so much, which was calculus and physics. And I didn't do that well in them. So anyways, while in university, I also made it an effort to lift weights. I also had a boyfriend at the time that was really into the gym. So that kind of helped me get on track with weightlifting. When I was 16, I could only afford to go to the commercial gym for 2 months in the summer. I just remember going there and taking all the fitness classes with all the moms, pump classes, because I didn't really know how to work out with weights. So that was my introduction to that kind of workout. And when I was 17 to 18, I started discovering online free programs from influencers. So You may know these names, Kayla Itzines and Tammy Hembrow. I started exploring different types of machines in the women weight area. And I would work out, but kind of sporadically because I was also really into like sports and my school and all the extracurriculars. I was just never really that consistent with the gym. So in December 2016, I had a bad sledding accident that left me with both my ankles sprained. And that healing process took a super long time because I kept needing to use my ankles because, how else was I able to get around? I couldn't use a crutch to like put weight on one side because they were both broken, basically. Didn't have a wheelchair, so I just spent a lot of time like resting in bed that winter. I even had to like use my arms to crawl to the toilet and put myself up. So when my ankles began to feel better, I actually re-sprained both of them again because I tripped down some stairs at my university, and then I rolled down several steps, and it was super embarrassing. And because I was wearing these chunky boots, I was just trying to rush down to print some papers before class. So anyways, eventually in January, I discovered deadlifting by watching this girl do it in the gym. And she was doing it with 85 pounds, which is like 20 pounds on each side. And I just remembered thinking, wow, she is so strong. I would like to try and do that. So as a complete newbie, never learned form or anything, never watched a deadlifting video tutorial, I just went in the gym and I just did it. I just mimicked what I saw, and that's how I started deadlifting. And then I kind of just fell in love with doing the deadlift. And for 6 months straight, I just deadlifted. I didn't do any other compound exercises, just deadlifts and some accessories. So I increased the weight 10 to 20 pounds a week, starting with 65 pounds, and I would go up to 275 pounds for one rep. That one specific day in June 2017, when I was 19 years old, with my newbie brain and ego, I did that lift, 275 pounds for one rep, which is 2 plates and 25 on each side. I got it up, felt good, and then next set, I slapped on another 10 pounds on each side. So that was 295 now. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to lift it up, one rep, I can do it. I got it up 1 inch before something in my back popped. So it was like something was crushing under pressure. I didn't know like what it was exactly at the time. But I just knew it was like I was in complete pain. It felt so bad to bend over, and now like it was closing time at the gym. No one was around. I just had to like put all the weights back in pain. So 2 weeks I was in pain. I decided to go see physio, and it didn't really help that much. I just felt like I got better with the time. I even got an MRI scan, and then it came back later saying it was a moderate herniation, and that my doctor's just like, oh, if you don't want it to get worse, just don't weightlift for the year. That kind of made my heart sink because, I found a lot of joy in weightlifting. That was like my happy place. And just to hear that just kind of made me feel really, really bad. Even my physio was like, oh, don't weightlift so heavy. He actually even saw the video of me hurting my disc, and he didn't address my form or anything. He was just like, that's just too heavy for you. So I was from June to December, I was just like in pain. Every time I would heal, I would go back to the gym and I would just hurt myself again because my problem was not knowing how to brace my core to protect my spine while lifting. After sharing my story to Instagram, this trainer decided to reach out to offer his coaching. And I didn't see his message for 1 month because, it's just in the other box. Finally, in the beginning, I was really stubborn because I was like, I can do this journey myself. Like, I don't need coaches. I'm too good for that. I was very close-minded. And finally, just had enough of this pain. So I decided to commit to hiring this coach full time to help me get better so that I could do what I loved again, lifting weights and deadlifting. So that fall before meeting my coach, I didn't go to university. I decided to take a course in personal training so that I could develop the knowledge to help myself and to never have this happen to me again. But funny thing is, with all the studying and stuff, I was still lost. I was still in pain. Even I got certified, went to the gym to coach other people. Even the top trainers at that gym tried to offer me some advice, but that didn't help. What I really needed was an experienced rehab coach that had a lot of knowledge in the area, who knows the proper exercises to give me and to know how to coach me in a way that prevents future injury. So for 8 to 10 weeks, I was on this program that didn't involve any weights, just body weight and calisthenic movements. So that's how I got into calisthenics and fell in love with hand balancing and single leg exercises. I began fixing my deadlift until it was basically perfect, and I was deadlifting pain-free 2 plates by that summer, July. And then in October, I was able to hit my personal record of 330-pound deadlift at a convention, a fitness convention, and I even won that deadlifting contest they were hosting. So I just found the surge of adrenaline, it's pretty exciting and fun when I'm hitting for personal records. And it was even more fun that time because I had 10 other fitness coaches there just cheering me on and hyping me up. I eventually changed the gym I was working at. I became a trainer at Good Life, and I was pretty successful there. I even helped other people overcome their back injuries and helped them deadlift pain-free. My fitness journey blew up that year of 2019 because my training was super consistent and I experimented with different strength building programs given to me by coaches. And I have never felt more confident in my body and in myself as a person there. Then COVID hit, and that really affected everyone's mental health and fitness. It was super hard to keep my gains, and I ended up investing a lot of money on gym equipment. Now, I didn't have space for gym equipment, so I would store the equipment in my car, and I would drive to a park where I would train my clients there, and even had some friends come out to work with the equipment I had, just doing deadlifts on the sidewalk. So from 2020 to 2022, my fitness journey just felt stuck, and I felt like my progress was going backwards. I didn't have a consistent routine. I was traveling within BC for a bit, and then I ended up falling into kind of letting outside influence get to me, drinking, going out, dinners, and also some recreational drugs. And also getting really stressed because of my relationship and my partner at the time, who had, his set of issues, which caused me to develop issues with my mood, temper, mental health, and caused me to lose a lot of muscle. So my weight dropped from 150 pounds to 130 pounds over 2 years. And this was the first time I went back to the same starting weight that I had in the beginning of my fitness journey.
You should tell them that it wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't him. This was the first time I ever felt my fitness just wasn't a passion anymore. So January 2022, that's when I made the effort, and I promised myself that I was going to take this year to heal and put back that 20 pounds that I lost. And I managed to get that back in 6 months. That summer was the summer I actually ended up meeting Pat, and the rest is history.
What is the history?
So when I met Pat, that came with a different set of struggles. So the new struggles we're now traveling. a lot, and kind of just like going in and out of like different Airbnbs, hotels, cities, different gyms.
I told her that I got a magic carpet and we're traveling the world. She didn't know what came with that. Anyway, keep going.
Really hard to get into routine, especially like when you're going gym to gym and like you're kind of figuring out like where everything is. So we still went to the gym to work out. It's just that I wasn't on a proper structured program where I was like tracking my numbers and macros each week.
Yeah, well, I want to tell them this as well. Over the last 2 years, we've probably went to how many different countries?
I don't know.
Like 600 to 800. We went to Mexico, Australia, Japan,
Philippines,
Dubai. Where else were we? America.
Yeah.
Different cities, and not just that, but like different gyms, different equipment. We've never had like a structured training program to follow because you've been traveling so much.
Yeah, and like some places like don't have body weight scale, so I kind of like wasn't tracking that. Yeah. But kind of going into 2023, I did a slightly better job with just like tracking. So I would make progress for a bit, and then I would lose that progress because of, just lack of eating and stuff like that. So I would kind of be bouncing back and forth. So that's why I feel like I've just been kind of keeping the same-ish physique the last bit. But this year, 2024, I really want to make an effort to make really noticeable changes so I can move myself from like where I'm currently at right now, sitting at 146 pounds. And I want to really get to 160 pounds, which is what I've never weighed before. But I feel like that would really, like you would really see a change in my physique with all that extra muscle. So the last 10 years have just been quite the journey of like self-discovery, transformation. Building curves and size has always been a constant struggle for me, even to this day, because it takes a lot of food and a lot of weightlifting to maintain just even what I have now. And then also like with all the actions of like following a consistent program and practicing healthy habits daily, I have not only transformed my body from 130 to 150 pounds, adding more muscle to my frame, but also gaining a whole new, confidence, newfound appreciation for what fitness does to like overall health and wellness. And my personal transformation and experience overcoming these injuries and obstacles is what kind of lights that passion for fitness and ignites the passion to help others achieve their fitness goals and improve their quality of life.
Type in the comment below if Joe has shown you or taught you something about training or fitness, about stretching that has really helped you in your fitness journey. You're getting lots of love in the chat.
Thank you.
All right. So a lot of you people, whether you're watching this on my YouTube or watching this now in the Dream Team Academy, you might not know where to start with your glute training. You might have a program, but you don't know how to really be confident on that journey. You see certain exercises and you think, oh my God, how can she hip thrust 2 plates? I can't even get 1 plate. Or you might think, maybe I don't have the genetics to build a frame, my peach butt. Maybe I'll be a cereal box forever. So in this next part, we're going to ask Joe, what are some common misconceptions about glute training? Because Joe's been training her glutes specifically for how long now? 5 years?
Well, ever since I was like 15, I always liked the appearance of big glutes and like thick legs on women.
Were you a cereal boxer one time?
When I was 13, I think I saw a picture of myself. Someone took of me at sports day. I'm like, I looked at it. I'm like, wow, I look really flat. Yes, like a rectangular.
But at 13,
box.
most women, no.
But I just kind of looked at it like, whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
I just kind of moved on pretty fast. I didn't really think too much about it.
When did it really bother you though? Did you see a photo when you were 17 when your body was developing and it wasn't developing as fast as you wanted to? You're like, I need to change my body.
I never really felt like I didn't like my body that much. I would just see photos of women on Instagram and be like, I would like to look like that. And then when I discovered like I can start lifting weights to achieve that appearance, then
I got a question for you. So I talk to like at least 5 to 7 new people every day about joining, right? Like wanting to start their journey. And a lot of people compare themselves to Instagram influencers, but they compare themselves, they feel like shit and they don't do anything. Whereas you will like get inspiration from those influencers. But do you think the biggest difference is because you actually put in the work and you see results, like those photos drive you? It doesn't like tear you apart. Do you think getting results plays a big part in like being consistent?
Yes, but I didn't start seeing results until I think 2 years in my journey when I decided to eat more.
So food played a big part. Okay, can you tell everyone here like some common misconceptions about building your glutes?
Yes, so common misconception or myths is that believing that you have to just lift heavy weights to build glute muscles, like that's the only way. Some of the other ones are like, oh, just doing squats will help you grow a big butt. And also you can fix your hip dips by just doing abduction exercises.
Okay, I'm just reading comments. Yeah, Joe, you are the reason I am in DTA. Yes, she's fixed my form. You inspired me so much. You have helped me amazingly with menopause, stretching, and handstands. Also, you've shared some of the amazing tips and explanations for learning to improve our forms. Let me cereal box. All right. So let's talk about motivation. Dietary principles.
Yes, but just to add on to that myths like that section. So to kind of combat those, I just really make sure that I focus on incorporating a variety of exercises that target the different muscle fibers in your glutes. So you don't just need like squats. Like squats will be like one movement, but you also need to do lots more hip extension movements. So think about hip thrusts and like kickbacks and like back extension, glute focused, things like that.
Okay.
And also make sure you overload the muscles over time.
Yeah. Now let's talk about diet, because you mentioned just before that what you eat played a big part in like building your glutes. So I'll talk to them about some dietary principles.
So always prioritize consuming enough protein for your own body so that you can support the muscle repair and growth. Because in the gym you're tearing the muscle down, you want to make sure there's enough protein there that can fix it up right away, and you're not breaking down extra protein in the muscle just for energy. So you want to aim for lean proteins such as chicken, fish, legumes, tofu, etc. Supplementing with a protein powder when you need it. Emphasizing consuming lots of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and healthy fats so that you can get enough essential nutrients and support your overall health. Another key principles are staying hydrated, really tracking your macros, and just being mindful of your portion sizes. Supplement vitamins and minerals when you need it. So something I always do is make sure I get my vitamin D, magnesium, fish oils, and multivitamins every day, at least. And also making the pre and post workout meals just full of quick absorbing protein and carbs. And also spreading protein intake evenly throughout the day. So if you have 150 grams of protein you have to eat a day, just divide that evenly, like 4 to 5 meals. I try to make sure my body gets protein every 3 to 4 hours.
Okay, let's talk about that was great tips, by the way. Let's talk about actual practicality. So you guys know that we're always on the go. We're Airbnb-ing the last 2 years, a different month, different house, right? Mm-hmm. So how do you she does our meal prep for us? Can you tell everyone how you set up myself and you for meal prep throughout the whole week? What does that look like?
So I do batch make a lot of the items. So chicken breast, like I'll cook a bunch of it, season it, but I'll have everything like kind of in separate bowls, so that way we can just kind of pick and choose what we want and just combine it on one plate and then just eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just rotate between like brown rice, maybe white rice. Right now we have like black beans mixed in.
Right now we got like 4 different sources of carbs in the fridge, all pre-made. It's got sweet potato, we got black rice and black beans, we got white rice.
Yeah.
And like we've got an endless supply of like oats and cereal. We've got protein, we've got you made meatballs and then you made chicken breast. We've got salmon in the fridge with eggs. So there's never a day where our fridge is not full of like healthy food. Like if we have an empty fridge the next day, we both have anxiety.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Like it's a fucking problem. Like we're like, what the fuck? How are we gonna live? Like we programmed our body and mind to know that if we don't have the resources in our vicinity, we're going backwards, and we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, so always have cooked food in the fridge.
Yeah.
Cooked carbs and
I remember
protein.
Once, like last month, we had like limited resources, and then it was like 5 o'clock on a Friday. Like Pat, like I feel like I'm not eating enough. We don't have any food in the fridge, and we had like 1 meal left. And like I noticed it was getting to us. Hilarious.
Yes, because he likes to shop like back then, 1 month ago. Like he likes to go like every 2 days, like get new groceries. I'm like, why don't we just buy a whole bunch like once a week?
Yeah.
And then put stuff in the freezer.
Yeah.
Because when I see like if there's not a lot of food in the fridge, it makes me kind of feel like scarce and like it makes me feel like I should save this food and not eat it.
It was fucking hilarious. You used to eat and you used to save food in the fridge. I'm like, what's going on? So now we've like better communication. Our fridge and freezer is always packed with food. There's never not food. So cool. Let's talk about motivation. Type in the chat box if you struggle with motivation when it comes to either building your glutes or getting lean or getting stronger. Let's talk about that.
Motivation?
Yeah, motivation to be consistent.
Okay. So I find my motivation by making sure I set realistic and achievable goals that, align with my long-term vision for health and physique. And also make sure to celebrate small wins along the way, recognizing progress I've made, no matter how small. I still celebrate it. And I also find accountability to be pretty important, whether it's tracking my progress, working with a coach, having accountability from my partner, seeking support from a community of other like-minded individuals like you guys, DTA. And I also just realize I will get there faster the more reps I put in. So you just kind of have to develop the discipline in yourself to complete these tasks every day, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how you're feeling that day.
Okay, let's talk about accountability. Now, you have the best accountability partner in the world. Let's face it. But like for those people that don't have an accountability partner or a partner that they can depend on to push them, what would your advice be?
Get a coach.
Mm-hmm.
A coach will keep you accountable.
Okay, now I've got some people here that are crushing it. Like they check in, they message me on time, they follow their plan. But what about these people who are probably listening to this or haven't joined the DTA yet that are like, oh, why do I need a coach? I don't need a coach. I'll do it myself. What would you have to say to them?
Well, if you keep thinking you can do it yourself, then you can ask yourself, like, why aren't you there yet? Why do you still look the way you do and you don't have your dream body yet?
Facts. We had to touch on that point. Okay. Now let's navigate this conversation to social media pressures. Now, being in the fitness industry for the last 20 years, I realized, well, the ideal body shape has changed so much. Back in the early 20s, when you were a little baby, they were talking about the figure models in Brazil, what do you call it? The supermodels, Victoria's Secret models, all about the skinny, don't eat anything look, right? Now it's more like hourglass figure, how much butt injections can I get? It just completely changed in what attraction and confidence looks like. Now, what would you say to someone who's really critical of their body image when they look in the mirror, just want to tear themselves down and just shame themselves for not looking a certain way? Like, how do you navigate that as a woman?
Yeah, so actually, when I was a teenager, there was a trend, like the thigh gap trend. I don't know if you knew of that back then.
The what?
The thigh gap trend.
Bunch of Sarahs, you know.
So if you could stand like with a visible thigh gap, like that was really nice back then. And like there's would be like crazy videos on like how you can achieve it. I forget like their tips and stuff, but it's just wild. So I just navigate these pressures by really focusing on self-acceptance and feeling gratitude for what my body is capable of and progress I've made, and just reminding like myself that everyone's fitness journey is unique. Everyone starts their journey at different times and like they go on them at a different pace. So comparing myself to others only takes away from my own progress and achievements. So just striving to have a healthy perspective on my own body image by really prioritizing holistic health and well-being and how I feel, instead of just the external appearance.
Oh, 100%. Like when it comes to holistic health, like Jo is an epitome of that. Like I look at her supplement stack, I look at her skincare routine. She got a routine for every ligament on your body. Like she's very think one of your goals is to like feel how you feel now in your 80s and 90s.
Yes.
I said we're gonna get to 100. You're like, we're getting to 120. I'm like, what do you mean 120?
Okay, I said 108 just because 8's my favorite number.
Okay.
But yeah, like that's why I've also like quit drinking alcohol for it's been like a year now, more than a year. I quit when I came back from Australia to Canada in December 2023. No, 2022.
Okay.
Yes, because I decided I actually don't even like the taste of alcohol. Like, why am I putting this poison in my body? I'm just gonna stop. And I'm thinking like long term, like, okay, I want to take care of my kidneys and liver. I just want to take care of my organs because you never know. Like, stuff may happen later. I don't want to have alcohol be, one of the reasons for me to have these issues. It's just not worth it. I had enough fun in the past.
Okay. So do you have any advice or any final tips or hacks or insights for any of the women who obviously look up to you? I mean, like Jo, for example, I remember 2 years ago, I've been a coach for like 10 years, right? So I've been doing this my whole life. But when we started like doing these skits online and these reels online, we just had a playful relationship. Like I was the coach that would tell you exactly what you need to hear and what you want to hear, and you were playing the newbie. And I remember one of those videos went absolutely bonkers viral, and you were like, "Oh my god! Like we should double down on this type of content." And we kept going and kept going and going. And we've impacted like millions of people around the world to exercise properly, right? Now, for anyone that's watching this, like now that they know you're an actual professional, you live and breathe this, and I think most people know this already. Like, what would you say if you're looking at like the young Jo or someone that's like never heard of fitness before, or people that like have a really bad relationship with like diet? Like, what type of tips would you have for someone to get started and start feeling good again?
There's a lot of training programs online. There's a lot of free information. But what really helped me was actually working with a coach one-on-one, coach that really cares about you, that knows like way more than your typical professionals would know. Because if I listened to my doctor, I really would have just like became a potato and just like been like, okay, yeah, I'm not lifting weights. I'm just gonna chill for a year. But actually, my coach was like, just trust me. Don't listen to them. Follow me this way. And I'm so glad I did. And I still kept my body moving. That's why I was able to heal my herniation at like that rate of speed, because I just took action. And I just invested in my health and fitness. No matter like if I was broke, I was actually a broke university student. I didn't have the money. Didn't even have a car to take myself to the training sessions. I would like wake up extra early in the morning and like steal my mom's car, and then just drive to my sessions. And I just found a way to make it work, even though I was broke.
If you can steal your mom's car, you can steal your mom's car to the gym, right?
So just investing in a coach, like if I had done that in the very beginning, I wouldn't have like gone through my herniation, really. I would have been more smart about it, about how I lifted. So I do face some of the consequences of that. Like I just don't think I could ever like put my body under that amount of stress with like that amount of weight again. Like it's just not worth the risk of re-injuring it. Like when you lift over 300 pounds, you're kind of putting yourself at a risk. Like it's really heavy weight, even with like protection.
Where can people find you on Instagram?
You can find me at Joanna Luke Fitness.
Do you want to tell everyone that you're starting a new business, right?
Yes. So I've been like following this girl actually like for so many months, like since July last year. She was like kind of my first ever exposure to digital marketing, and I just kept seeing her make more and more money every month. I'm like, I need to figure out how she's doing this. So I actually ended up buying the program from her in October, but I was kind of like having this shiny object syndrome. So I was kind of like buying a whole different bunch of programs, like, okay, this is gonna work. Okay, this is gonna work. But now like I've seen other women like that I also follow on Instagram for a while. Like they are also going on this one program. I'm like, I gotta get back to this program and just do it. So it's called the Dream Wealth Academy. And such a big community of just women who want to make money online and just be able to have more time to spend with their loved ones, whether it's like being more present of a mom, raising their kids, being able to be at home more. And, that's just the kind of freedom that I also want. I want to have financial freedom so I can actually have a family of my own and raise them without feeling the stress of money. So that's kind of what I'm working towards now. And if you're interested, you could message me and I'll tell you like all the information you need about it, because I'm kind of in the journey myself, but I'm also like kind of witnessing everything like happen for these other people. Like I know that it can happen for me if I just continue working and just following the steps, the program that's laid out that has a proven track record.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing. Tony Robbins, my number one mentor, mentions there's 3 things to life. You got your health, wealth, and relationships. You can't have your health without. You can't have wealth without health. You're gonna have all this money. You're not gonna have a body to go with it. And what's the point of having all the money in the world and the dream body, and you got no one to share it with? Well, not literally share your body with. I mean, that's probably not the right words. You know what I mean. But anyway, Joe, I thank you. I appreciate you. Dream Team Academy appreciates you. Guys, that is all. If you have some love for Joe, comment in the chat box. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe. See you on the other side.
Wait. So yes, just to reiterate, make sure you work on your health, wealth, and relationships. All of those 3 areas, work on them together, making sure they're going up at the same time. So don't neglect one. You gotta make sure they're all touched on. Okay, thank you. Bye.